Aston Villa, welcome to the UEFA Champions League. I can't believe what I'm about to say, but Aston Villa won, Bayern Munich 0. Never in a million years did I think I'd be saying those words tonight. John Duran, take a bow. Lobbing Manuel Neuer, that is a hard thing to do. Not to just qualify for the Champions League, but also to win a game like this against a European giant in Bayern Munich. Now, this is one of Aston Villa's best results. A 1-0 win might not mean anything for big teams, but a 1-0 win for Aston Villa against Bayern Munich means a lot. And I can tell you that Aston Villa fans are going to be delighted with this win tonight. Now, I would be reviewing the game between Liverpool and Bologna, probably, had it not have been for this historic win. And yes, the game was 0-0 for most of the game, but sometimes you get more out of games that end 0-0 than games that end, say, 3-2. Because how you go from being, like, 5 years ago, these lot were a championship team. I mean, it's probably a bit longer than that. But to now be in the Champions League and beating Bayern Munich. They are doing so well in the Champions League. They just beat Young Boys. I think it was 3-0. I didn't expect this from Aston Villa. They're doing way better. I don't want to offend any Newcastle fans, but they're doing way better than Newcastle. And Newcastle have been in the Premier League for a lot longer than they have in this time period. So it's crazy to see how well Villa are doing. I mean, Young Boys aren't the greatest of teams. They got battered like 5-6-0 by Barcelona last night. But for Aston Villa to win 2 games in a row in the Champions League, this is perfect form. This is really good. This is really, really good. This win, right, will be remembered by Aston Villa fans in 30, 40 years' time. There'll be 15-year-olds that went to this game in 30 years' time still going on about it, saying, "Oh, do you remember when we beat Munich 1-0 at Villa Park? That was amazing." That is what they will think of this game, because this is how much smaller clubs, well, they're not a small club anymore, are they? They're not. I can't call them a small club because they're not. They're really not. You can't call Aston Villa a small club anymore. They've moved on from that. But the team they have now, look at what it looks like now. Oh my, Unai Emery, take a bow, son. Take a bow. What a job this man has done. What a job. They've gone from fighting relegation to beating Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Now, I don't know who they have next, but no team in the Champions League seem to be a challenge for them at this moment in time. They've just beaten Bayern Munich, they've beaten Young Boys, they've battered Young Boys, and now, like, they are one of the best teams in the league this season. By far, they are one of the best teams in this league this season. Like, the job that Unai Emery has done at Aston Villa is mental. Like, he's taken them from the middle to the very top. Like, Never in a million years did I think I'd be seeing that result tonight. I mean, they did have what it takes to beat Bayern Munich, but I didn't think I'd see it in proof. I did not think I'd be seeing that result tonight. I really didn't. I mean, Villa, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they were better than Bayern. They were. I mean, Bayern Munich, they're not doing too badly. But, oh my gosh, this is going to be a result that's mirrored for years and years and years and years. I mean, I thought it was mental when Newcastle beat PSG 4-1, I think it was, last season in the Champions League. I thought that was mental. This is even more mental. Bayern Munich were a different level to PSG. So, like, they had one of the best goalkeepers of all time in the net tonight, Manuel Neuer. And John Duran managed to chip or lob. It's the same thing. But he managed to lob Manuel Neuer. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard that is? This guy is in great form right now. I mean, we're talking about Cole Palmer being one of the best players in the Premier League right now. Probably the best player behind Haaland. But no one's talking about John Duran. John Duran is such a good player. He has been in great form this season. He's been scoring goals for fun. Like, he was brilliant last season, but this season he's a different level. And he is a generational talent. Like, him and Cole Palmer are probably the best players in the Premier League right now. I mean, they're not even that low down in the table either, like 5th, 6th in the Prem table. So, what a result this is for Villa. It's an amazing result. And this will give them so much confidence for this season. I mean, they're not going to win the Champions League because there are better teams. But if Villa carry on like this, it is possible for I'm not saying it's possible for this season, but it's possible for 4 or 5 seasons' time. If they get in the Champions League again next season, I mean, it's unlikely. But if they get in the Europa League and win that, I mean, they could enter this whole Big Six debate. I mean, I think they've already entered it. I'd say they're one of the top 5 clubs in the Premier League right now. You might think I'm deluded by saying that, but that is what I think about Aston Villa currently. Because tonight's performance showed how much of a great team Aston Villa are. I mean, we've seen some great games at Villa Park, like when they beat City last season. It didn't change anything, but they still beat City, and that was a great result for Villa. And they've got some brilliant results there. 7-2 against Liverpool, which I'm sad that happened, because I mean it's one of our worst results, but good for Aston Villa. We were poor that game. You know, they've beaten several teams there. They've had some very good games at that ground. Villa Park is one of the most historic grounds in English football, may I say. It really is. And this result makes Villa Park even more special. The eruption of the crowd from the Villa fans when that goal was scored. Don't even need to say anything. Like, Villa are probably one of the best teams in the Premier League currently. I mean, obviously you got your Arsenals, your Liverpools, your Cities, your Chelseas. But behind them, they are probably one of the best teams in the Premier League right now. If you look at their form, yeah, I mean, it's just there. The proof's in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. And honestly, as I've said before in this video, I never, ever, ever thought I would be making a video where Aston Villa beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I mean, it's not luck either. They played really well. Man, man, no one saw this result coming, did they? Let's be completely honest. I think even Villa fans probably thought, right, okay, let's just go for the occasion. Well, no, it was to support the team. But nobody thought this was going to happen. Nobody thought it. And to get a result like this is amazing. To get a result, 1-0 win at Villa Park against Aston Villa. Do you know how good that is? That is a great result. 1-0 may not seem that flattering, but for a team like Villa, it really is. To beat Bayern Munich 1-0 in the Champions League is amazing. I mean, bloody hell. Wow. Massive applauses for Aston Villa tonight. Massive applauses. Man. Massive round of applause. What a team they are. I mean, beating Bayern Munich 1-0 at Villa Park in the Champions League. I mean, it's amazing. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.